Shall we commence? Eminent dignitaries, diplomats, and speakers, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, it is our pleasure to welcome you all to the second edition of LEADS 2021. LEADS is curated as a strategic platform for global leaders from Asia, Europe, Africa, CIS, Americas, and the Pacific to deliberate on the tenets of leadership, economic excellence, and adaptability, to change and to build on pillars of diversity and sustainability. 2 days of sessions deliberations shall endeavor to evolve a shared vision in presence of business leaders, policymakers, influencers, and opinion shapers from across the spectrum of world economy to evolve a shared vision on future of our partnerships. Where we now invite Mr. Dilip Chinoy, Secretary General of FICCI, to present his welcome address at the inaugural of FICCI Lease 2021. Mr. Chinoy has served as the Managing Director and CEO of the National Skill Development Corporation. Currently, Mr. Chinoy is a member of Board of Governors, IILM, New Delhi, a leading business school, All India Management Association. He is also Director General of ICC India and of India Council of Arbitration. He advises startups, including organizations in the digital education, skills, and livelihood space. He also serves on the Executive Committee of Bureau of Indian Standards and is the Director of Invest India. He has served as the chairman of Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology, a fully government-funded integrated skill development and degree awarding institution. He was awarded the Indian Achievers Award in 2018, the Game Changer Award in 2015, and the Rashtriya Media Ratna Award in 2013. Over to you, Mr. Chana.
Thank you, Rohit. Dr. Sadiq Ahmed, Chairman and Managing Director, Aram Group, Saudi Arabia. My colleague Manish Singhal and Rohit Sharma. A very good morning and a good afternoon and a good evening to all of you around the world, colleagues from industry, friends from the media, distinguished speakers, and eminent guests. On behalf of FICCI, it is my pleasure to invite you, to welcome you to the second edition of FICCI Leads 2021. The Honorable Prime Minister of India has actually inspired this with his global vision, and we are fortunate to have many of his cabinet colleagues and distinguished leaders from industry be with us during the course of 2 days. The FICCI has curated the theme for the second edition of Leads 2021 as a future of partnerships. The initiative endeavors to encapsulate what lies ahead for the world and for businesses as they're ready to see beyond the obvious and seek new ideas for their very survival in uncertain and very dynamic future that awaits businesses around the globe. World economies are in the pursuit of a transformation, change. The question is, how can we turn this crisis into opportunity for change? We may not have all the right answers now, but we must begin by asking at least the right questions and work together to identify out-of-the-box solutions. I would like to reiterate some of the catalysts for such a transformation, and these will be further deliberated upon the course of the 2 days. I believe that we must focus our priorities on reconnecting people with planet, sustainability and gender diversity as pillars of growth, accessibility and adaptability for economic resilience, making innovation a way of life, and bringing convergence between self-reliance and multilateralism. That's the idea of LEADS, which is a platform for global leaders to evolve a shared vision on leadership and business excellence to enable adaptability to global disruptions based on the pillars of diversity and sustainability. So leadership, excellence, adaptability, diversity, and sustainability. Nations must look beyond competitive advantage for financial prowess to achieve real progress and prosperity. There needs to be convergence between self-reliance and globalization, while sustainability and diversity will remain as cornerstones of future growth. We are therefore especially thankful to the Ministry of External Affairs, Economic Diplomacy Division, Government of India for supporting us on this initiative along with global corporations. We are fortunate to have a number of eminent policymakers, business leaders, and out-of-the-box thinkers who will delve deep into the during the number of sessions lined up during the course of 2 days in what needs to be done by economies, businesses, and governments to rise like a sphinx, if I may use the simile, and craft a new success story in the months and years to come. We all should look forward to high caliber discussions over the next 2 days of Leads 2021, wherein uh, we would look at cross-pollinating ideas for reimagining the way we look at business, policymaking, governance, and social responsibility. This second edition of Leads 2021 shall strive to achieve a congruence of vision among world leaders during the 2 days of deliberation across Asia, Europe, Africa, Americas, and the Pacific. Just following this inaugural session, and I'm extremely delighted and a very warm welcome to Dr. Siddiq Ahmed for joining us from Dubai. We will have the ASEAN session at Leeds 2021, which talks of the future of India-ASEAN connectivity partnerships and would focus on exploring a leadership vision to identify opportunities and challenges for improving infrastructure and digital connectivity, facilitating the flow of people across borders, closer people-to-people contacts. The East Asia session looks at the future of global manufacturing partnerships in India and would deliberate on India's diversified supply chain and innovative vision, which makes it a strong manufacturing powerhouse in Asia, backed by path-breaking reforms. The Europe session would delve deep into the future of sustainable technologies in India, building on the Paris Agreement, looking at India-Europe partnerships, and the discussion on the new approach that has been necessitated as sustainable technologies across all sectors, from mobility to healthcare to digitalization going forward. In the Middle East session, the focus would be on future Middle East partnerships, entrepreneurships, and startups. The LAC session, Latin American session, would deliberate on the future of India-LAC partnerships and services while unraveling collaborative opportunities across different sectors like fintechs and e-governance. The North America session would invite views from eminent speakers on the future of innovation in India-North American partnerships. This assumes critical importance as India and North American countries possess a complementary innovation ecosystem that could harbor a futuristic vision and innovative approach. On day 2, the Oceania session will talk about the future of Oceania's India-Oceania space technology partnerships. The South Asia session about the future of India-South Asia and the fourth industrial revolution. The CIS session would talk about the future of India-CIS Silk Route partnerships. We'll invite views from eminent speakers on the need of reimagine the leadership vision towards building sustainable development corridor. The multilateral session with the focus on the future of global governance and development partnerships would follow this session. Last but not the least, and extremely important, we will have the Africa session while talking about the future of digitization in an India-Africa partnership. This whole sessions would have views from key speakers to reimagine our leadership paradigm. I would like to end by quoting Henry Ford, who once famously said, "Coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success." So let's work together under the aegis of Leads for ensuring a harmonized and deepening economic relations between our economies for all times to come. With these words, I would like to thank you for your kind attention and thank you for joining us today, and look forward to your continuous presence over the next 2 days. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chinoy. We would now like to play the promotional video of Leads 2021.
Reimagine the world with leadership, excellence, adaptability, diversity, and sustainability. Last year at Leeds, we had 78 global leaders and policymakers from around the world. Now, join us for Leeds 2021 on 14th and 15th September for a shared vision on future of partnerships. Ministry of External Affairs, Diplomatic Mission and FICCI partners globally are supporting Leeds 2021, which is inspired by the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. This year, over 60 global policymakers and business leaders from Asia, CIS, Europe, Africa, Americas and the Pacific countries will deliberate on future of partnerships with themes like sustainable technologies, Silk Route opportunities, manufacturing value chains, infrastructure and digital connectivity, space technology, fourth industrial revolution, entrepreneurship and startups, IT and digitalization, services economy, innovation ecosystem, governance and development. Fortune 500 global companies have endorsed Leads 2021 with their presence. FICCI Leadership welcomes you to Leads 2021. Registration and information on www.ficcileads.in.
Thank you so much. We are now indeed delighted to invite Mr. Sanjay Bhattacharya, Secretary CPB and OIA and Affiliate Authority, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, who has sent his message for the eminent global and Indian participants joining at the Leads 2021. Mr. Bhattacharya assumed the office of Secretary in 2020. He is responsible for passport services, consular relations, and diaspora affairs. He oversees our relations with the Arab world and is Sherpa to BRICS and representative to Jal Jeevan Mission. Over to you, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Thank you for inviting me to Leads 2021 on Future of Partnerships. I hope this initiative of FICCI will promote dialogue and encourage collaborations to address two key developments as we look to the future: structural changes in economic systems and disruptive technological transformations. How do we leverage change to our advantage? How can a dynamic economy and youthful population respond? And how can domestic priorities be linked to our global perspective? I shall share my thoughts with you on the trends in India's external migration and mobility in this context. The idea of India was based on harmonious coexistence with nature, search for excellence in our pursuits, and sharing our heritage with the global community. Our philosophy of peace and tolerance, our achievements in mathematics and science, our rich tradition in literature, art, and architecture, our finest products such as cotton and spices, and above all, our friendly and entrepreneurial people traveled to the farthest corners of the world and spread the spirit of India. In ancient times, we traveled to Southeast Asia and China in the east, as well as to Arabia and Africa in the west, to share our culture, and its legacy is still present. In colonial times, Indians went as indentured labor to Fiji, Malaya, Mauritius, Africa, Caribbeans, and also as traders and scholars. Today, they have a presence in economic and political spheres. After independence, highly qualified professionals went to Europe and America, and low-skilled workers to the Gulf region. Again, wherever Indians went, they earned the admiration and respect of the locals. Following the information revolution in the era of data and new industry, we saw the tectonic shifts in economic systems and technology and innovation that I had referred to earlier. The COVID pandemic exacerbated the situation. Migration and mobility had to adjust to the new normal. Two broad trends were discernible. First, there was need for skilling, and second, new destinations were emerging. Thus, the need for new partnerships. In the Gulf, where most workers went, there was economic churn, localization, and changing pattern of labor demand. However, Indian workers remained their preferred choice, and Indians too found it a comfortable terrain. We entered into new G2G arrangements and agreements with Gulf partners to maintain our privileged status and provided them wider welfare measures, particularly to the vulnerable. the integration of online migration platforms, which began with UAE and Saudi and was extended later to other GCC countries, ensured transparency of information and security in terms of employment. A new thrust was needed in skilling, involving not only government but also private sector. Skill mapping and skill matching could be captured so that our migration platforms could leverage advantages for our workers in a changing environment. We noticed increase in demand for certain skills, especially in health, logistics, IT, and new industry. Moreover, high-tech and data services saw a new boom, helping them to go up the value chain. Stakeholder consultations were necessary and were enhanced for agility and efficiency to position the right person in the right time to the right place. A new era is on the horizon. Tapping new destinations in developed countries for mobility was a new trend, and we have an exciting arena which requires policy intervention. Economic and demographic changes in many countries made them turn to India as a reliable partner. Our outstanding professionals had established a very strong reputation for knowledge and innovation. Building on this goodwill and the positive outlook of our economy, we embarked on developing G2G relations with several countries to give an edge to our professionals. Government can create an enabling environment, and private enterprise must go ahead to seize the opportunities. Most are familiar with the success of our professionals in USA and H-1B visa provided to them. We can probably contribute even more. With EU, we began a dialogue for the India-EU Common Agenda on Migration and Mobility, CAM as it is called. We discussed, among other issues, the options for the mobility of Indian professionals while adhering to the norms of safe and legal migration. We have since then negotiated mobility and migration partnership agreements, MMPAs, with France, Germany, Denmark, UK, Benelux, Portugal, and others. MMPAs provided on bilateral terms avenues for Indian professionals to work in EU, for Indian students to stay in the EU for work after their graduation, and for Indian youth to undertake internships. Some MMPAs also provided for the movement of skilled workers. Similarly, the Special Skilled Workers MOU, which was concluded with Japan, was truly path-breaking in opening up new vistas for Indian workers. We are working for similar facilitation in Korea, Taiwan, and Mauritius. Coupled with social security agreements, mobility partnerships with the developed world provide win-win solutions, leveraging our demographic dividend for better remuneration and exposure to high technology while filling the gaps in destination countries. The migration ecosystem of the future will be much more dynamic, and we will have to respond accordingly. This will have to mean A, respond to demand, technology, and opportunity. B, coordinate closely the policies with the Gulf region and new destinations. C, develop new age skills for countries getting older or facing skill shortfalls. D, be aligned with the Global Compact for Migration and international understanding on migration flows. And E, promote safe, legal, and smart migration. A new immigration bill will soon be in Parliament for approval. It will provide a simplified structure for transparent and dynamic interplay of all the stakeholders. For the integration and alignment of our overseas external environment with our domestic priorities, it is crucial that our immigration policy be mainstreamed in our development process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhattacharya, for your keynote address today. And ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to note that FICCI Leads 2021 has invited some of the most prominent business leaders and policymakers from across the globe. We would now like to play some of the messages that have been shared with us by them.
Be part of Leads 2021, a global thought leadership initiative on 14th to 15th September 2021, wherein global leaders from Asia, Europe, Africa, CIS, Americas, and the Pacific will share their vision on future of partnerships. Do join me for my talk on 14th September at 1 to 2 p.m. for a deep dive into future of global manufacturing partnership with India in a complex, interconnected, and disruptive world. In these bullish times, it would be an honor for me to share the stage with global industry leaders and policymakers who will be deliberating on how the tenets of leadership, excellence, adaptability to change, diversity, and sustainability can help us reimagine the future. Please join us and find more information on www.fitleads.in.
The relationship between India and Latin American Caribbean nations travels a long way. The remarkable similarities between these nations bring several business opportunities, including many on cutting-edge technologies. Join us to discuss the future of India-LAC partnership in services on FICCI Leads India 2021. Be welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jason Held. I'm the CEO of Sabre Astronautics. I'm thrilled to be sharing my vision of the future of India-Oceania space technology partnerships at Leads 2021. It's a global thought leadership initiative happening on the 15th of September. Join me and my friends at the global industry movers and shakers in reimagining your future. Attend in person or online, totally up to you, but don't miss out.
As we march forward from an imperfect period to what hopefully will be a perfect period, Leads 2021 possibly sets the context for reimagining, reshaping, and driving greater partnership and help businesses scale up and forget the uncertainty of the immediate past. As we move forward, future global leaders at Leads is the perfect platform to look forward with renewed hope, aspiration, and confidence. Thank FICCI for being in the front and center of getting world leaders together in one platform, and look forward to seeing you all on 14th and 15th of September 2021.
The world has seen a lot of disruption over the decades, but hardly at the scale of what we have gone through in the past years. The ongoing crisis is also an opportunity to make the right innovation at scale to build back better. There's a tremendous potential for India and Europe to come together to build sustainable future. I'm looking forward to engaging with global leaders at LEAD 2021 on the 14th and 15th of September to involve a shared vision and to reimagine economic growth in the new normal.
Leads 2021, a global thought leadership initiative. Leaders from Asia, Americas, Europe, Africa, CIS, and Pacific are going to share their vision on future of partnership. So do join me on 15 September, 11:30 IST. Truly privileged to share the stage with industry leaders, policy makers who will share their thoughts on leadership, excellence, diversity, and adaptability to change and sustainability to build a better future for all of us. Looking forward to seeing you all. Thank you.
FICCI Leads 2021 is a global thought leadership conference that's taking place on the 14th and 15th of September under a title of Reimagining the World. Many experts are going to come and highlight key topics of interest that are shaping our world at this moment, and I invite you to join us there. My name is Richard Heald. I'm the chairman of the UK India Business Council, and I'm participating in a panel on the Tuesday, the 14th of September, on the subject of future sustainable technologies in the UK-European partnership. An absolutely critical subject to discuss in this current time. We've seen what happens in COVID-19, where collaborations between the UK and India have resulted in the development of the AstraZeneca vaccine with sustainable and absolutely huge impact in relation to recovery from the pandemic. We can expand that into other areas that look at healthcare, that look at education, that look at ecology, and look at climate change. It's going to be an absolutely fascinating event, and it will take place on the Tuesday, the 14th, as I said. I will be on the panel with my colleagues, and I look forward to you joining us at that time. Go onto the FICCI website, which is www.ficcileads.in. Find out more information and register, and we look forward to welcoming you there. Thank you.
Greetings. My name is Bruce Bernamio. I'm Dean of Thammasat Business School, Thammasat University in Bangkok, Thailand. Please join me in my session on the future of India-ASEAN connectivity partnerships on September the 14th, 2021 at 11:30 India time. This is part of the Leads 2021, a global thought leadership initiatives. Do join me there.
India's and South Asia's role in the fourth industrial revolution will depend to a large degree on how they are able to manage and leverage the power of partnerships. Join us for Leads 2021 to discuss on the future of partnerships.
Greetings from the Philippines. Join me as I share my thoughts on partnership opportunities between the Philippines and India to support digital technologies and promote sustainable economic growth in the upcoming ASEAN session. The future of India-ASEAN connectivity partnerships on the 14th of September 2021.
The space industry inspires the world, touches almost every industry, and will continue to create jobs for this generation and the next. As we look to the future with bigger aspirations to explore the universe and improve our lives here on Earth, partnerships are an essential component of the global space industry. As an emerging space nation, it's been important for Australia to establish valuable international partnerships. This includes with the Indian Space Research Organisation. Collectively, our partnerships leverage our various strengths to create opportunities to support the continued growth of the space industry.
Hi, I'm very excited to be part of Leads 2021. We will have global leaders from Asia, Europe, Africa, America, CIS, and the Pacific joining this two-day event on 14th and 15th September. And they will be sharing their thoughts and their vision around future partnerships. As we explore the theme of future partnerships, connectivity between ASEAN and India is going to be critical for future economic growth. Do join me on 14th September at 11:30 a.m. IST for a discussion around future of ASEAN-India connectivity partnerships in an interconnected and disruptive world. I'm very delighted to be sharing the stage with industry leaders and policymakers as we deliberate on the future of partnerships. I look forward to seeing all of you at Leads 2021.
The world has seen several pandemics, but it has not seen the kind of disruption which we saw in the last 18 months. Leads 2021 is an endeavor to reimagine the world and build a future through partnerships. It is my privilege to be part of this event where global leaders across the world from the Americas, Europe, CIS, Asia, Africa are taking part. Middle East and India offer exciting opportunities to work together and partner and build a future together. I am part of a session on September 14th at 4:30 India, which is talking and building about the exciting opportunities between Middle East and Asia. I look forward for you to join that session.
Kusuzangpo, greetings from Bhutan. In the upcoming South Asia sessions of Leeds 2021, 15 September at 11:30 to 12:30 IST hours, I look forward to sharing my thoughts on Bhutan's perspective and aspirations and challenges to be an early adopter of the fourth industrial revolutions, which is going to be an infinite game changer. And along with it, I discuss on how future of India, South Asia, fourth industrial revolution partnership can benefit her and sub-regional countries, mainly Bhutan, Bangladesh, Nepal, which are called them as BBN, and the regional countries.
Hi, my name is Javier Lopez Ancona, CEO and founder of Kitsania. I am delighted to be part of Leads 2021, a global thought leadership initiative where global leaders from Asia, Europe, Africa, and the Americas will share their vision on future of partnerships. I invite you to join remarkable colleagues and me for a deep dive into the future of India and Latin America partnerships in services on September 14th at 6 p.m. In these complex, interconnected, and disruptive times, it would be an honor for me to share the stage with global industry leaders and policymakers who will be deliberating on how the tenets of leadership, excellence, adaptability to change, diversity, and sustainability can help us reimagine the future. Please join us.
As we come to the conclusion of the Leads 2021 inaugural, we would request Dr. Siddiq Ahmed, CMD, Iram Group, to present vote of thanks. Dr. Ahmed has been instrumental in partnering with FICCI for organizing the second edition of the global initiative. Dr. Siddiq Ahmed is the co-chair of FICCI India Arab Council and chairman managing director of Iram Group, one of the region's most diverse conglomerates with over 40 plus entities spread across 16 countries. He's also Pravasi Bharatiya Samman awardee. He's credited with key business promotion initiatives across the world and significantly in the Gulf and West Asia. His business interests includes industrial contracting, project management solutions, healthcare, automotive, travel, IT, manufacturing, power electronics, trading, project representation, and other commercial services. Over to you, Dr. Ahmed.
Warm greetings from United Arab Emirates. Mr. Dilip Sanai, Secretary General FICCI, Mr. Sanjay Bhattacharya, Secretary Ministry of External Affairs, dignitaries, colleagues from the industry, friends from the media, distinguished speakers, and eminent guests. On behalf of the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, India's Apex Industry Association, and myself in particular, it's my privilege and honor to acknowledge the presence of the distinguished guests and dignitaries, eminent speakers, and participants from around the world. At the second edition of FICCI Leads 2021, a FICCI Iram Group initiative, it is noteworthy that Leads 2021 has been well received, and Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India support provide invaluable to the profile of the initiative. We are indeed delighted to note that key Government of India ministers and the seniors officials, namely Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and Education, Mr. Sarbananda Sonowal, Minister of Ports and Shipping, Waterways and Ayush, Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia, Union Minister for Civil Aviation, Mr. Bhupender Yadav, Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change and Labour and Employment, Mr. Anurag Singh Thakur, Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Youth Affairs and Sports, Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Vice Chairman, Niti Aayog, Government of India, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Minister of Space, Science and Technology, Government of India, and Mr. Amitabh Kant, CEO, Niti Aayog, Government of India, have already confirmed their participation and would share their perspective at number of sessions at Leeds 2021. It's a great achievement for FICCI. We have received an impressive response from global leaders across the world on the rich and unique content of Leeds 2021. Likewise, participants from 78 countries across the globe have already registered for the program within few weeks of registration opening. Today, many of the entrepreneurs and business are taking the emerging challenges head on. The most tangible effect that has been witnessed on technology adoption, digital transformation, and general adaptability with the digital commerce and content. There is also visible acceleration for financial inclusions and e-governance from government around the world, increasing reliance on artificial intelligence and machine learning, developing industry 4.0. Solution Extra is needed of the hours, as this will be gateway for enhanced customer loyalty as well as business sustainability. The FICCI Leaders Initiative to be a platform for government and business leaders from Asia, Europe, Africa, America, and the Pacific to share their visions on future of partnership through economic excellence and resilient leadership. This program is curated in way that it will highlight the opportunities as we deep dive into various regions of the world and hope we can identify synergy of partnership for growth. I am sure I have been able to excite you with insight of 2 days of enriching interaction at Leeds 2021. With these words, I once again welcome you all at Leeds 2021, a FICCI Iran Group initiative, and also thank you for being with us. Wishing you all stay safe and in good health and mindfulness. Before concluding my speech, as Mr. Sanjay Bhattacharya says his speech regarding skill development requirement in India to upgrade the present skill development in the country. So I'm happy to say Iran Group have one of the largest division in India, oil and gas skill development located in Kerala called Aspire. Thank you and namaste, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, and thank you everyone for being part of the inaugural session of Leeds 2021. Please remain logged in for our next session on a future of India-ASEAN connectivity partnerships, starting in few minutes. The session will focus on exploring our leadership vision to identify opportunities and challenges for improving infrastructure and digital connectivity, facilitating the flow of people across borders, closer people-to-people contacts. A special thanks to our partners, Iran Group, TCS, Trigen Technologies, Citigroup, Google, Jindal Steel and Power Limited, Vivo, Ambuja Neuter Group, EMS HR Solutions, Grameen, ITL World, Mahindra, NSDL, Panasonic, State Bank of India, UK, Sun Group and Unifor. We also thank Ministry of External Affairs, Economic Diplomacy Division, Indian missions overseas and foreign missions in India and our global institution partners. Without their support, this session and Leads 2021 would not have been a reality. With these words, thank you so much for joining the inaugural session of Leads 2021. Thank you.